welcome as the Washington Spirit take on Racing Louisville in Leesburg, Virginia. I'm Erica Ayala. I will serve as your play-by-play for today. This is the Washington Spirit celebrating Juneteenth. And as part of that, they have partnered with the Black Women's Players Collective, BWPC, to advance opportunities for black girls in sports and beyond. All of the players that hit the pitch today wore warm-up shirts honoring the Black Women's Players Collective, and 100% of those proceeds will go to BWPC as they aim to elevate the image, value, and representation of black women as athletes and leaders across industries. Both of these teams looking for a win tonight. You've got Racing Louisville as we get started here. They are on a 3-game skid, whereas Washington has not won a game since May the 1st. Hoping to make good on an opportunity at home, as we see that's Trinity Rodman there. Both of these teams, again, looking for a win as we close out the regular season before a little bit of an international break. Plenty of players on both sides called up to their respective national teams. We'll get into that as we have our first whistle. Advantage to Racing Louisville. Emily Fox brings the ball back over, and it will be, it looked like Howell was gonna take that. Gets started once again. And you see right there, Cameron Bogalski made contact there. Now we're getting the trainer on the pitch early in this match. Contact to the head is immediately going to call the officials over. That's Alex Chidiak coming off, and you can see towel to the face and streaks of blood on the forearm there as that ball was punted into play. We'll see if this is something that requires attention or if it's a matter of a quick cleanup and maybe a swab to the nose. We play on for now. So you see Kingsbury directing her team. Washington now. Sullivan. Back to Sonnet. Finds Sanchez, or as I say, Sanchez. To Rodman. Looking for Feist. A little too strong there. Washington couldn't connect. Katie London net for Louisville as their keeper. Opts to go short. And Rodman right there. Playing aggressive. Gets one perhaps on the buttocks there. I'm sure that didn't feel well, but smart idea, playing aggressive. And once again, Katie Lund for Louisville. Opts now, it looks like, to kick this one long. See the class of the Washington team there, honoring Brittany Griner of the WNBA, among other tifos or signs that we see in the arena. You can see that the players for both teams trying to get acclimated and adjusted. So we still have quite a good amount of sun glare here as we get started. Punt by Lund goes long. And that was Rotter, Julia Rotter there to challenge, but Racing Louisville will get a throw in. Looking for McDonald. She boxes out, trying to make space there, but it's Washington ends up with the ball, but just far enough for another throw in for Racing Louisville. Again, both teams looking for a win. Racing Louisville, winless in their last 3, have also given up 6 in their last 2 games. Either team with an outright win would jump up to 6th place in the standings. Right now, they sit at 7 and 8 in the league. Or 8 and 9, Washington at 8, Racing Louisville at 9. Top of the table, expansion club, San Diego, followed by Chicago, Portland, Angel City, Houston, and OL Reign. Rodman, Hatch, overran that. You can see the speed.
Louisville substitution in the 6th minute. Entering the game, Amina Ichik. Leaving the game, number 27,
and we see Chidiak not able to return. So Amina Ekic, number 13, we see has come on for Racing Louisville, having to make a substitution due to that collision that we saw. 50-50 ball. Chidiak, we saw come off with blood as we play game on here. Rodman looking for Hatch, but now Racing Louisville trying to spring Jessica McDonald. Had her hand up, thought maybe there was a handball contact, but you see that Washington was able to recover and close in on Jess McDonald there, who has been a great veteran for this Racing Louisville team. Smart play there. Sanchez pulls it back though. Sonnet. Cameron Bogalsi plays that along the line, throws that one in. Rodman loses it to McDonald. And Racing Louisville trying to settle in. Dispossessed there by Sanchez. Washington in the dark jerseys. Racing Louisville in their whites tonight. You can see there on the bench the Black Women's Players Collective shirt being worn. Good pressure so far by the Washington Spirit. Racing Louisville has been up to the task though. Nice play there. Yeah, was thinking we were going to see that card. Saw a tug on the jersey, clear as day there. Speaking of yellow cards, we have our first of the game. Look at this replay here. Just a great move there. A great move by Lauren Millay. And that's Rotter, who gets booked. Got beat, got booked. For Washington, they have, of all players, Trinity Rodman sitting on 3 yellow cards. If you collect 5, you sit out your club's next match. No one in danger of that as of yet, but something to keep in mind. Racing Louisville now. Once again dispossessed. Shot up the sideline and out of danger. As everyone's forced now back up the pitch, Racing Louisville with another throw-in. Nice long throw-in. Fight down by the goal line. Ultimately won by Washington. So it'll be Aubrey Kingsbury for Washington. Starting keeper. Having a great season. Despite the struggles of Washington, again, are without a win. Have been able to draw a handful of times. Mentioned the standings. North Carolina Courage, winners of the preseason cup, kind of extended a little into the regular season. And in the basement right now. 12 teams, North Carolina at 12. Having difficulty finding their stride in the regular season. Quick start there by Kingsbury. Washington looking to push it up, but we see Racing Louisville with their own form of pressure. McDonald trying to pressure Sonnet, but she's able to find Sanchez. You might hear me interchangeably say Sanchez, just culturally. As Rodman now looking to track that one down, but a little bit too much once again. That leading ball by Ashley Sanchez. I'm going to take a look at it again. Or excuse me, there was another touch there. Rodman trying to run that one down. Good idea there by Washington. They've got the right idea, and they're able to, with their speed, with Rodman's speed in particular, if they can connect, they might be able to expose Racing Louisville on that right side of attack for Washington. Lund punts that one out. So Washington going to get a throw in here. Got lots of players, including the one on the ball right now, or who was, Sonnet, getting call-ups. A little bit of a misplay there, but get out of danger, Racing Louisville, for a moment at least. I like the aggressive play so far by both teams. Nice little turn by Andy Sullivan. Good to see her back with this Washington team. Has had a myriad of challenges that have kept her off the pitch. And Sullivan, they're glad to have her back as we see McDonald now on the run. Collects two back for Washington. And once again, we see Louisville dispossessed. That time, Ekich, who came in for Chidiac. And now we see Hatch using her size and speed, but good defensive play there by Louisville. Closed in on Hatch. Ekich in for Chidiac. Rodman trying to take Ekich off the ball. Racing Louisville retreats just a bit, get their form back, collect themselves. They're doing good to have their defensive line there to bail them out, but with an aggressive style from Washington, Louisville's going to have to push forward, and they do right now. Ekich is looking to play that across. You had McDonald, but good play defensively by Washington. Able to get a leg and have that ball deflected. Bounces right to Kingsbury, who tosses it out to Sonnet. A little bit of a dangerous kick there. Still have a player down. 50-50 ball. Andy Sullivan high kicked that. And now another player for Racing Louisville down. Sullivan making sure to plead her case of no ill will meant. You just see this ball bounces up on Sullivan, and it's a high kick. Didn't initially, on the first look, see if there was contact. I'm not sure it was with the leg, to be honest. Maybe a poke on the hand. Hard to tell from that angle. But if I had to venture to guess, a little bit of discomfort, but perhaps not like what we saw with Chidiac. I think it was on the follow-through with Sullivan's upper body as opposed to on the kick lower body. But we'll see. Everyone else gets a water break now. That's DeMello. Savannah DeMello being looked at. It does look like her midsection is what's being checked out. She also gets a little hydration break. Thumbs up. Looks like we're good to go. Just not feeling great as the two again are able to reconcile. Sullivan certainly not looking to take DeMello down. She's going to come off just for a moment, more than likely. Yellow card is assessed. DeMello comes off just because she was looked at. And we'll resume play shortly, momentarily here. So already 2 yellow cards in this game, both against Washington. Like the aggressive style that both teams have brought to the game. A few things I'm sure both sides would like to clean up. But we're scoreless. Sullivan switches the attack. It's Elwell. Was dancing with the ball. Loses it, but just for a moment. Flick on there. But Racing Louisville ends up with it. And now a little ticky-tack from both sides. Rodman to Sonnet, directing traffic. Was looking for Feist. And on cue, Feist a little feisty. Mentioned already 2 yellows in this match, both assessed to a Washington player. Jalen Howell was over the ball once again. You see this here. Another jersey pull. Seen that a few times already by Washington. They get beat, they pull that jersey. I think there was a little forearm push as well there. Ball is back to Washington. On the feet of Feist. Now Sonnet. Cuts through the middle. Looking for I think that's Elwell. Had Hatch down the middle. And you hear the crowd. They like that. They like that look. It's going to lead to a corner kick here. First one of the match in favor of the home squad. Sonnet, there you go. Indeed, yes, that was over to Elwell, who is looking for Hatch here. Or Rodman, I should say, was also there. Short to Sanchez. Sanchez again. Great defense there. Corner awarded, though. Great job. Just what a heads-up play here by Sanchez. Dancing along the line. And at the last minute, you see, he's able to get Louisville to bite. I believe that was Lester in the mix. Sun in the face of Racing Louisville. Katie Lund. Once again, we see it played short by Washington. Ball in. You get a corner. You get a corner. All corners here. On the one hand, Racing Louisville not taking any chances. They're willing to concede the corner, which so far has been short. Looks like they might switch it up. Washington, that is. Ball in. Pushed out. Rebound. And once again, a corner. You see Racing Louisville, the way they played that as we see this ball come in. Great job to head it out of the way. And no one quite knew. You didn't see Racing Louisville after that deflection go after the ball. Another corner, another header away. Washington collects. Ball in. Rodman! Goal! Oh no, they say offside. Rodman, what a play. Sonnet came in. The crowd likes it. You've seen exactly what Washington wants to do in this match. Unfortunate to get that called offside. Ball in, Rodman with the header. And yeah, it wasn't Sonnet that was offside. I think that might have been Staub. That was floating a little bit there. But Washington showing what they want to do. The players able to connect here. Worth noting that Washington has several players unavailable for this match. They have some players that will be national team replacements, as now they're on the attack once again. Racing Louisville having some trouble trying to chip. Nice little idea there. As Katie Lund getting her fair share of action. Who else, right? Sanchez cuts across, and then looking for Elwell. Header trying to chip a little bit there. Giving lots of different looks to this Racing Louisville team. Washington, as I mentioned, has not won a match outright since May the 1st. 5-1. They're looking to get it done here tonight in front of their fans, their home fans, as they celebrate Juneteenth. The head-to-head favors the Spirit, 3-1. The one Louisville win coming May 21st, 2021. It was all Washington. And this is their first match of 2022 season, including the Challenge Cup. We're in different brackets, if you will. Lund. It's going to get the chance here to reset for Racing Louisville. Racing Louisville really hasn't been able to push their attack forward very much, not since early on in this match. And it is still early in this match. Washington with the lion's share of possession from my eye test, for whatever that counts for. Playing maybe a little bit timid once again. Maybe would have done well to settle that ball down. as opposed to just flick it towards the goal line in this case, which of course leads to yet another Washington Spirit corner. Arms up, ball in. Sonnet trying to flick that on. Had a few targets there. Hatch now. Had Hatch there. You know Rodman was there. Elwell as well. Kind of a tweener there. Again, the target was Sonnet to get a flick on there. And then find on the second touch. Washington really liking these set pieces. Hasn't led to anything for Washington yet, but like the idea. And Washington pleading their case, but we play on. This will be a throw-in for Racing Louisville. Still looking to cross that center line and get something going offensively. Ball out of the reach. Jess McDonald with the throw-in. Long-ish throw-in. As we know, Jess McDonald is capable of much longer throw-ins. Part of her repertoire, if you will. Another shorty. Settled down by Howell. Howell again. Racing Louisville looking to get something going. Overshot that cross a little bit there. Rodman now with it for Washington. Nice little ball there. But Howell dispossesses Washington. Yeah, nice little move there by Olofsson. And you saw her hand go up, trying to make a case for a little bit of a pull, a nudge there. Looked like Rodman and another player closed in. What a tackle by Elwell. Racing Louisville sauntering over. Sun a factor, especially on that side of the pitch, as you can see. Gemma Bonner wearing the captain's band for Racing Louisville gets it started again. Sonnet finds it with her head. Racing Louisville settles it down but gives it away. Oh! Ashley Hatch would have been off to the races. Good defensive play there by Racing Louisville, but that negates the offensive attack unless they can get the ball back here and on cue. Galsey with a awkward touch there, but Washington gets it back. Sonnet back to Kingsbury, has to play it with her feet. Racing Louisville, DeMello there, aggressive. DeMello's been such a spark plug for this Racing Louisville team that again is struggling on a 3-game skid. See this ball chip there, kind of falls down, awkwardly played there by Sonnet, knowing though that Jess McDonald is there, frantic to get that ball out of the zone. And it goes to Washington. Racing Louisville looking to settle in. Not liking that. A few aggressive kicks and tackles there, but Racing Louisville gets the benefit of the doubt. Still, though, having difficulty entering into their attacking third. Once again, as is the case, Rodman overshot that one. Fox retrieves it. Bonner finds DeMello. To Howell. McDonald on the flank. Cross coming. Punted away. Throw in Racing Louisville. Longer throw there. Well wide and beyond the goal line. Nothing to it there. Plus already gone in this first half. Scoreless between Racing Louisville, who visits Washington on their Juneteenth celebration. Again, lifting up the Black Women's Players Collective, founded by the players of the National Women's Soccer League. Now Washington, once again, trying to find their way. Good defensive effort there by Racing Louisville, but Washington back at it. Ball in. Hatch. Header. You can see that she liked that ball in. Knew that she didn't quite get what she wanted on it. Gives the thumbs up, though. That's more or less been what we've seen from Washington. Not quite able to execute that final touch. Save for Sonnet, but didn't matter as it was offside. Flag was up. Looking to find that magic again is Washington. Here they go. Hatch stays on. Got Rodman and Sanchez. That one went over Hatch. Bugalsi couldn't corral it. Backline there to recollect for Washington. Now to Sonnet as the attack is switched over to Rodman. Great young player. Sonnet. Hatch. That was chipped. Not really to anyone in particular. As is always the case, part of playing that good possession game is passing with intent. Not quite the case there for Washington, but they recollect. For a moment at least. Now Racing Louisville. Again, that's Ekich in for Chidiak, who came off. Shot to the face. Left her bleeding. And Kingsbury comes out there. It was only her team that she was fending off. No one from Racing Louisville there in the box to make it interesting. Ekich there, as we see on the replay. Great job there to find Fox. But nobody else there. Louisville settles it down. Ball to nowhere. You see Howell putting her arm up, knew that there was a mistake, and now will Rodman make him pay? She does! You saw that Jalen Howell put her hand up, knew that that was a my bad moment, and it turns into a goal for Trinity Rodman. Washington up 1-0. Here it goes. Look at that turnover. And if you look, Howell, puts her hand up. And oh my, what a ball in. Trinity Rodman goes where Lund is not. You see Fox retreating, couldn't get there. Lund makes a lunge, but Trinity Rodman found the perfect spot. Nothing to be done there. Also had Lester coming back. If this were hockey, we'd call that a back check, but couldn't get there in time to get that ball out of danger. So now Racing Louisville behind. They find themselves behind 1-0 in this first half. Possession has been in the pocket of Washington all game. Louisville, a team known to fight. We'll see how that first goal charges them up. Obviously, we also had that offside here, as now saw they were trying to look for McDonald, find her at her feet. But it's these little ticky-tack balls, both teams, time to time. Instead of maintaining possession or losing it. You see Washington reminding themselves to settle in, settle down a little. Rodman there. The only goal in this match so far. Lund. Reset here for Racing Louisville. Rodman with the lone goal in this game. That's her second of this regular season. Young player, revolutionizing the pay structure for players, able to negotiate a pretty nice deal for herself, and made sure to let folks know that while her contract might have been the first of its kind, she stands on the shoulders of all those who in now 10 seasons of the NWSL have made it possible for him even to be a pro. As we see now, Bugalsi looking for Hatch. Elwell came in late trying to make something of it, forces Louisville to kick that to the sideline, so this will be a throw-in for Washington. 10th season of the NWSL, 21 players have been here for all 10. Amazing. Nicole Barnhart, one of them. Kelly O'Hara. As you see, that was Sanchez. Or Sanchez. Looking to get past Lund. Easy save there. For Racing Louisville, new franchise, but of course, Jess McDonald has been with the NWSL all 10 seasons. Amazing to see how this league has grown, even really from last season, let alone in the last 9. Very much so from the players, including, as I've mentioned a few times, the Black Women's Players Collective. NWSL is the first league to restart in the summer, coming off of COVID. And among other things, the pandemic, unfortunately, was not the only thing that we, certainly as a country, were dealing with. And a lot of the players utilizing their voice, so important to interweave that into a conversation that is, for Washington at least, because this will be their last game, or their only game of the weekend, thus have a match on June 19th, which is the actual date of Juneteenth. As you see Hatch push from behind by Bonner. A little too aggressive there. It'll be a restart for Washington. But the players taking on so much mental health. Talking about the disproportionate killing of black bodies in this country. Lots of players taking on, as you see, looking there for Feist. Lund will get this going for Racing Louisville. Just amazing to see how the players have utilized their voice in so many ways. And certainly have educated themselves in the process as well as their fan base. Racing Louisville trying to get something going. DeMello takes a tumble. DeMello hit the deck a few times already. Sullivan gets tied up here. Doesn't like the call. I'm inclined to agree with it. Sullivan wearing that captain's armband for the Washington Spirit. Washington looking for the break. Elwell looking up field. Was trying to connect with Hatch. Mentioned that we have a handful of call-ups that we'll discuss here. Washington, they have 9. Louisville with 7. Including, of course, the United States, also the U13 team. DeMello, one of those for Louisville. US U13, hello, what? U23, my mistake there. Definitely older than that. Hatch. And the follow! That has been the coup de grace. The follow-ups for Washington. And that's going to be Elwell. As you see here, Sonnet gonna get this started. To Bagalsi. Looks for Hatch the first time. Lund with the first save. And it's Elwell to collect. You see that it was Bonner was there. Went up to contest with Hatch, which allowed Lund to make that first save. But then, absent of Bonner and Lund, there was no one else. From Racing Louisville, marking up Madison Elwell. Gets the second goal for the Washington Spirit in this first half. Really great heads-up play by Washington. But for Louisville, there's got to be someone else helping to mark up there. Bonner was busy in the air with Hatch. As you want. Lund made the first save. And then a little bit of ball watching, I have to believe, for Racing Louisville. So the first goal came from Rodman. On a misplayed ball that then Washington was able to push up field. Little things, little mistakes that are biting Louisville and have them in a 2-goal hole here against Washington. As we are bound to have stoppage time. Again, we had an early substitution. Chidiac had to come off the pitch. Amina Ekic, number 13, came in. We had DeMello down for a little bit. And it's 2 minutes.
Has indicated that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes added to the half.
As you heard there by the PA, a minimum of 2 minutes added on. Jess McDonald got held up. Didn't look like anything too aggressive, but Jess McDonald, slow to get up here, fell aggressively to the ground. And wonder if on that fall might have injured something. She is in a lot of discomfort. And to be determined if it's just something cramping up. Appears to be working her way into her stride and will play on, but is uncomfortable. Service in. McDonald, one of the targets there. To no avail. Washington has Rodman trying to get this ball. Lester does a good job. So, eating away at that 2 minutes of stoppage. Shot in! Hits the crossbar right in the corner. Lund had to dive for that. A little deceptive there. A shot in by Washington. Another one! McDonald. A little slow there. Still fighting, though. My goodness, Washington at the half. 2 goals and the lion's share of chances here as they have this match right where they want it as we head to halftime.
This is AWS's first sponsorship in the NWSL. Building on its history of supporting professional sports leagues and teams across the globe, AWS will round out the defending NWSL champions, 10th anniversary kit partners, alongside Ally and the Kennedy Center. Visit NikeSoccer.com for all the latest news and information on Nike Soccer products. Visit
Here we go. The second half momentarily will be underway as you see Washington in their blue kits. And that looks like the substitution we don't have yet, but I can pretty much guarantee that was Kelly O'Hara streaking on to the pitch for Washington. Saw her come out in warm-ups. Very distinct running style has Kelly O'Hara as we're underway. Washington has a 2-0 lead. And the crowd now greeting O'Hara into this match. Comes in at the half for the Washington Spirit. Sounds as though she's coming in for Feist. Feist did have some aggressive play there. There's O'Hara. few bodies roll to the floor. Jalen Howell went down looking for a call, but we play on, as now it will be on that play there that takes Rodman down. Gemma Bonner takes down Rodman, and it will be a free kick here for the Spirit. Sullivan. Roller to Sanchez. Cuts across. Was looking for Elwell, who already has 1 goal in this game. That was the second goal. Came at the 43rd minute of play in the first half. The first one was, and I'm learning the lingo here, was a Shea Butter bomb. Shea Butter FC podcast, shout out to you. As we have here Washington with, this will be their sixth corner kick of the match. Hatch heads it. Collected by Bagalzi. Rotman now trying to fight that. Out to O'Hara, who wants to play a little. Didn't have it, though, with Rodman. Looked like she wanted to do a little give and go with Rodman. Didn't manifest that time around. Oh, man. Those two together. Sounds like a lot of fun to me. Unless, of course, you're racing Louisville, who is going to need to get something going in this match. Had a little bit of a scare in extra time. Jessica McDonald, their workhorse, a little bit slow to get up. A little slow in her giddy up, but is on the pitch for the team. So hopefully it was just a stinger and nothing that caused any damage. There's McDonald right there. This will be a Racing Louisville throw in. They do it quickly. Jalen Howell. Washington regains control momentarily. Now Bonner wants to settle things down for Racing Louisville. A little bit of an overshot there. Miscue for Racing Louisville. Throw in for the Spirit. At the half, the shots heavily favored Washington 13-2. Corners, as I mentioned, now stand at 6 in the match, all for Washington. It was 5 at the half. We just got 1 for Washington, as now they will settle over the ball. Short little pass to reset here. Passing efficiency right now at 70% in favor of Washington, as opposed to Louisville with 66.2% efficiency. Have noticed that efficiency creating problems for Racing Louisville. Directly, ooh, okay, look at that move by Andy Sullivan. Didn't transpire to anything as we see Howell on the ground. But what a move by Andy Sullivan. Obviously feeling better, feeling great, moving well. And we hope we can say the same for Jalen Howell, who's now on the turf. A little shaken up.
A yellow card caution has been issued to Spirit number 5, Kelly O'Hara.
Death taxes yellow cards to O'Hara. Aggressive style of play. Look at this move. Ooh, nasty. Olofsson gets got. And then, oh yeah, that's a dangerous play by Kelly O'Hara. Kelly O'Hara plays hard, plays strong, working her way up to full fitness. Little flick on there. Racing Louisville now with a chance to mellow. Cuts it across, looking for McDonald. Andy Sullivan. Excellent play there to get that across the goal line. Oh my. Little flick on there. DeMello. And oh, McDonald just couldn't get to that ball. Seemed like a promising chance for Racing Louisville, who now takes their first corner of the match. Headed away from danger for a moment's time. Kingsbury makes the save. No more sun glare to deal with. Now, of course, you have the lights. Pretty direct ball. Headed out of danger by Washington, we're seeing on the replay. Nice move there. That was Neely Martin to create some space. Gonna keep an eye out for Jess McDonald. Fell awkwardly, still in the match. But that explosive speed of Jess McDonald, so critical to this Racing Louisville team, and if that's compromised in even the slightest way, could make it difficult for them to come out of this 2-goal deficit now. Better possession, early returns for Louisville, who really struggled to push into their offensive zone. It's more of a hockey saying, I suppose, getting into that attacking third. They didn't spend a lot of time in the attacking third in the first half, but are making their way now. Looking for Malay. Will be a throw in for Racing Louisville. Nice little hesitation there. Louisville doing a better job early on of utilizing hesitations, possessing the ball, dribbling the ball, maintaining control instead of little ticky-tack passes or long passes to nowhere. Flag up. Washington held strong on their line. Forced an offside there. And disrupts that possession game that Louisville was playing. Smart job there by the defensive line of Washington to stay tight and force Louisville offside. McDonald's playing aggressive, so again, just going to monitor how McDonald is moving. In a game like soccer where you're essentially running nonstop, even little bruises that you collect early in a game, as you start to maybe feel it a little bit more, it can become a problem and affect your endurance. Not saying that's the case, and doesn't seem to be yet or at all with Jess McDonald, but just something to keep an eye on. Kingsbury kicks that out of danger. This will be a throw-in, but we have first a substitution. The headband bandit Nadia Nadim
56 minute.
will be coming on for Racing Louisville,
Leave the game number 17, Neely Martin.
as will Kirsten Davis.
Entering the game number 22, Kirsten Davis. Leaving the game number 13, Amina Egypt.
Ekic and Amina Ekic, excuse me. It was announced as Ekic, but Ekic out. Kirsten Davis, number 22, in. And Nadia Nadim also in the match. First sighting of Nadia Nadim, able to come back from the ACL, score one in her first game back. Nadia Nadim, I remember watching her play for Sky Blue FC. That's a throwback. Electric goal scorer. One of the call-ups for this Louisville team will be playing for Team Denmark on the Euro 2022 roster. And might as well mention these while we're talking about it. Alex Chidiac, who we saw come out of the game earlier, called up for friendlies versus Spain and Portugal for Team Australia. As we see this play again, offside there for Sanchez. Maria Sanchez plays for a different team. That's Ashley Sanchez. Again, you'll probably hear me say Sanchez and Sanchez interchangeably. Sanchez a little bit more native to my culture. Sliding tackle there to disrupt that for Louisville. They'll get a throw in here. Still looking to establish themselves on the attack offensively. Having Nadim in, looking to do that. You see Jess McDonald looking to just kind of place that ball, give Louisville a chance to win it back, which they do. Smart heads-up play there. Now it's off to the races. Nice ball for Hatch. Oh, just a little bit too much. Great tackle there by Louisville. I believe that was Lester with that tackle on Hatch. Smart heads up play there. But now it will be free kick here for Washington. Staub. Over the ball, sends it. Looking for Hatch. A little too much float for that one. But Sanchez to Rodman, and oh, Elwell looking for her second goal. Oh my! Washington feeling it. Look at this amazing ball. Sanchez, Rodman. Oh, excellent job by Malay. Gets in there with just enough time to make sure that ball gets out of danger. As we see Rodder coming off, making way for Amber Brooks. And we see Elwell coming off as well, making way for Helferty, who's been a starter. And finally, we just heard number 7, Almer, coming in for Andy Sullivan, which means that we have a new captain that is, for Washington. Washington showing that they can be dangerous. Case in point right here again. Ooh, Sanchez lost that one. Recollects though. O'Hara finds it. Aggressive play there, making it difficult for Katie Lund. As you see, Sanchez almost loses this, finds O'Hara, who one-times it, looking for Helferty, and Bonner and Lund get there first. Helferty, fresh legs coming in. Aggressive, gotta love that. Washington wants to win this game. They're playing like they absolutely want to win. Have not won outright since May 1st. And will be without the services of multiple players for call-ups. Washington has Karina Rodriguez, pre-CONCACAF Women's Championship camp for Mexico. O'Hara, who is just on the ball, dispossessed by McDonald, called up for friendlies for the United States alongside Ashley Hatch, Aubrey Kingsbury, Trinity Rodman, Ashley Sanchez, Emily Sonnet, and Andy Sullivan. And Anna Helferty, who we saw make that aggressive play, as now McDonald offside. Flag up. Good to see, though, that McDonald's running well, as far as we can tell. Ooh, like those pink nails with that mint of the Racing Louisville. Nice little color palette there, as we see that Kingsbury given the captain's armband, with Sullivan making way for the substitutions. Kingsbury. So Washington, several players injured and several more called up. An exciting time for those called up into camps, as is always the case with national team selections, not without its controversy. And unfortunately also, injuries in the NWSL have impacted rosters, I'm sure, throughout the federations, having to make decisions. Unfortunately, we've seen a few season-ending injuries. One of the latest, Kristen Press, having such an amazing season for Angel City FC. Confirmed ACL tear for Kristen Press. Tori Huster on this Washington team, season-ending injury, will not be with the team this season. Looking at this replay here, Racing Louisville tosses it in and gets clipped there. That was Millay, Lauren Millay. Draws the contact. Ball up, Kingsbury grabs it. Has a few players. Tosses it, looks for Rodman, connects. Great play by DeMello there. Bonner able to settle it in, sends that over. That was Fox. Bonner to Lester. Lester again. Gemma Bonner, captain of this Racing Louisville team, looking for McDonald, can't connect. Racing Louisville with a chance to recollect, and they do. DeMello. Great rookie go by DeMello. Nadim. Ooh, give and go. McDonald to Nadim. Goal! Nadia Nadim hushes the crowd. Puts Racing Louisville on the scoreboard. What a give and go! McDonald, Nadim. DeMello gets this started Amazing rookie contest. We were saying Nadim to McDonald to Nadim. Goal! A healthy Nadia Nadim is good for women's football at any stage, any level. An amazing competitor, and you saw it on display right there. 65th minute gets Racing Louisville on the board, making it interesting. Racing Louisville has had such a difficult time in this match, getting something together on the attack. But the combination, the trio of DeMello, Nadim, and McDonald get it going. And they have fresh legs, both teams do. Nadim proving to be a game changer. Can they get that big momentum swinging? They certainly want to. Kirsten Davis, one of those substitutions as well in the mix there, as now we see Howell has taken a few tumbles in this match. But you see the intentionality with which Racing Louisville came out in the second half. Made those key substitutions, Nadim being one of them. The possession is different for Racing Louisville in this half. But Washington has made substitutions as well. It's almost like we start all over again. This match opened up with a lot of aggressive play, as Racing Louisville there collects, looks for the outlet, cross, flag. Kingsbury able to punch that away regardless. But the energy, these two teams and their respective substitutions have upped the ante. Let's take a look now. Mention that the shots were heavily in favor of Washington. It remains the case. On 4 shots, Louisville only 1 goal behind Washington in this contest. If you're Racing Louisville, you want to find a way to keep that momentum. If you're Washington, you absolutely want to squash it. And Rodman looking to beat out Lund on that. Can't do it, but that's what I'm talking about. We're seeing this pressure. We haven't seen it since early in this match, but both teams quite capable of applying pressure. Some of the mistakes that Louisville has made have been self-inflicted. Not so much that Washington is over-pressuring them in the middle of the field. But now, Racing Louisville changing up their tempo. See the pressure there. McDonald overshot that. Now Washington settles in. O'Hara to Hatch. Spins. Shoots high. Sails over Lund, who collects. This is you see those little stanchions that we have on the side of the pitch. Something that came when it was a single site in Utah. First time I've seen it in this league, at least. And has been a carryover. Instead of having ball, usually young girls from a youth team in the area. I have been one of those people to track down the ball and then have to aggressively roll it to a player in the match that's screaming for the ball, especially late in the game. So I like these stanchions. It takes a little pressure off the ball people. As we see Washington now On the attack. Rodman at her feet. O'Hara! Oh, Jess McDonald got beat but made O'Hara cut back, and that gave Racing Louisville just enough time to collect defensively. But now Washington finds the ball. Rodman. Flag. Look at this. Great little ball here. Deflects to Hatch, or off Hatch. Rodman to O'Hara. But again, Jess McDonald overshoots but makes O'Hara cut back, which gives Racing Louisville enough time to get their defense reset and push off any attack by Washington. Exciting game. Can you tell I'm excited, folks? I love when the game reestablishes itself at the half. Quick water break at halftime, and both teams back at it. Ball comes out. Hatch. Lost her footing, still able to get something on frame and make Lund make a save. That's Ashley Hatch for you. What I would call a baby vet now in this league. One of the players called up. Easily could have been a broken play, but Hatch gets something on frame. Amazing. O'Hara. Nadim gets in there to DeMello. Looking for Nadim. DeMello has fallen to the pitch a few times. A little slow to get up, but not wincing. We play on. Washington crosses. Middle of the pitch. Rodman there. There is contact. And we're going to get a yellow card here. And a free kick outside of the box as Fox pleading her case. There was definitely contact. As you'll see here, this 50-50 ball. Fox comes in. It is not something that would have solicited my whistle, but I'm also not a referee, so I'll leave it there. Nevertheless, from the spot, Sanchez. Not a proper penalty kick, but it is a free kick from a dangerous area, potentially. Right above the box, Sanchez. That deflects over the wall of Racing Louisville. You saw that was Jess McDonald working with Lund to get that right, and proved to be effective, but will lead to another corner kick here for Washington. That yellow card once again to Fox, Emily Fox, number 11, defender for this Racing Louisville team. 9 times out of 10, you're not really mad at that defensive marking, I should say. Rodman looking for that. Bodies crumble to the ground. Everyone seems to be up. Lund with the ball. Rolls it. Racing Louisville. Have McDonald there. DeMello showing her strength. We play on. That looked a little more egregious in my book. Lund plays that with the body. Racing Louisville trying to find an equalizer. We're beyond the 75th minute. 2-1 Washington up. They got first half goals from Trinity Rodman and Maddie Elwell. Nadia Nadim got the goal for Racing Louisville. Here's that play again. And You see Rodman initially with the disruptance, and then a step over there as DeMello ran right into Kelly O'Hara. Not many are going to win that battle with O'Hara. Lunt collects. You see both teams still trying to push that pace. But it does look like fatigue will soon be a factor, if it is not already, for some of these players that have been on for the full time so far. Want to be careful, though, to not, shall we say, over-exaggerate contact and play through it. The ball gets kicked to the feet of the referee, and we're going to get a reset here. Sonnet seems a little confused. We finally play on. Maybe a little bit of a miscue there. Racing Louisville takes advantage. Looking to now set up their counter. McDonald. And to me, that's a little bit of a fatigue foul right there. Gonna get Goins. Haha. Parker Goins, that is, coming in.
Number 8, Freya Olofsson.
Olofsson comes out. Freya Olofsson called up to the U23 Swedish team. One of their call-ups. I mentioned Chidiac earlier. Murray, Fox, Howell, DeMello for USA U23. Young star on the ball now. Cuts through the defense. Nobody there, though, for Racing Louisville. DeMello. Wow. Oh, what a talent here. Look at DeMello. Kind of cut right through this defense. Keeps the ball. Gets the pass through. But just can't connect. Amazing individual effort by DeMello. Not the largest body on the pitch, but certainly has shown that it's not about the size of the dog, or the fight in the dog. Not the size. I've messed that up completely. Anyway, good fight in DeMello is essentially what I'm trying to say. But now Rodman got some fight of her own. So we'll slow it down. We're getting bodies bouncing off of each other. Mixture of fatigue and determination here. And of course, Washington content to play the clock. So you have to be careful, as you see Nadim pointing to her non-existent watch, indicating that they might be doing just that. Certainly some gamesmanship there. O'Hara defended well by McDonald. And the play blown dead. As it's Sanchez down on the ground, being looked at. hard to tell whether she was clipped by Fox or kind of not sure that I saw much there by way of Fox. Might have perhaps Sanchez, that is, tripped up after booting the ball away. Also plausible that it was a bit of gamesmanship. Again, Washington in a position up 2-1 where they can play the clock. Just offering that as a possibility. Here we go, underway. We'll still have stoppage time in the second half as we did in the first. Smart of Washington to slow the game down, but they must be careful because, again, this Louisville team has looked dangerous in the second half and has spurts of energy where they're showing their speed and their resilience. DeMello, case in point. So you don't want to lull too much and then find yourself in a position where you're not able to have enough time, should there be an equalizer, to find a game-winning goal. And right here, this ball comes in. We see Nadim is there. McDonald is there. She had to be careful to keep herself onside there. And Nadim wide of the frame. But you see McDonald likes the look. Nadim knows she had the right idea. Dangerous. Dangerous. So Washington, again, wants to play the clock, but must be careful. If they're going to do that, they have to play lights-out defense, especially on Nadia Nadim. Sanchez seems to be doing well. Got that over to Rodman. Great, nice slide tackle there by Gemma Bonner, captain for this Racing Louisville team. Excellent, excellently timed tackle. Again, here we go. Washington wanting to slow this game down. Racing Louisville ready though. Sanchez, nice tackle again. Sanchez dances with it. Bonner, great job to get in front of that. Almost playing it as if she's a goalie. Keep away is what Washington's playing right now. Will it lead to a goal opportunity? Kicked off the line. Fox there decided that enough was enough. Smart heads up play there as you see Washington, Helferty dancing with the ball. O'Hara trying to see if they can now get something going, and Fox clears that out of danger. Will lead to a corner kick for Washington, allows them to take their time, set something up on this set piece. Ball in. Rodman is down at her feet. Racing Louisville. Nadim trying to make sure she stays on side. Ball out. Kingsbury had to play that with her feet. Louisville now, they're going to have to press. 85th minute, no word yet as to what we'll get stoppage time-wise. Don't want to have to rely on it. We have seen in this league, though, in this season, a few teams make the most of stoppage time. This one ain't over yet, folks. Kingsbury clearing everyone out. Wants to take up time, wants this ball to go long, and content to have Washington do their best to collect. As they do, Hatch has Rodman, finds Rodman. Back to Hatch. Dribbles. O'Hara comes. To Hatch. On frame. Saved by Lund. Lund now. Gives it some air. Washington with it. Sanchez. Helferty wants her to go forward. Louisville. Now with the ball. Looking for Nadim. Sonnet closes out. Punts that out of play. To the stanchion Nadim goes. To McDonald. Louisville, of course, wants to get their offense set as quickly as possible coming in off these throw-ins. That's Bonner. Gives it to Lund. Kick up field. Yeah, Sonnet came in. A little too much force there. Free kick coming. Goins got knocked around. Quick start. Have Fox on the flank. Shot in! Nice look there. Quick reset. Like the look there, absolutely, by Kirsten Davis. DeMello, of course DeMello involved. Nice through ball. And Kingsbury couldn't get that one clean. I like that in that you get it on frame. It is quick. If you don't get that goal, then maybe you get a deflection. Now we see Fox setting it up, has McDonald and Nadim. McDonald chases it down, keeps it in, sends it. Nadim, goal! Nadia! Nadim! Brace! Goes to the corner flag. And Judo chops it down. Fox. Great job by McDonald to keep this ball in. Nadim! The power of the headband! Equalizer! And you felt that maybe Washington was taking time off the clock too early. The momentum was swinging towards Louisville. Judo chop, says Nadim. And now they're going to have to ramp up the engines once again at the capable feet of Rodman. Bodies everywhere. Racing Louisville, giving it everything they've got, trying to steal a decision from Washington. A team you can only imagine might be desperate for a decision. And once again, they find themselves having to fight for it. Racing Louisville also looking to get out of a 3-game skid. Stoppage time coming. Will it be enough to find a winner in this match? Wow. Nadia Nadim, game changer for Louisville for sure.
3 minutes added to the match.
3 minutes announced. And now here we go for the next 3 minutes. Can one of these teams find a goal? Or will it end with the score we have now? Rodman finds O'Hara. Hatch fighting for position. Louisville punts it away. Washington collects. Skies that well well over Lund. Just a bit high. No need to go to the stanchion as the stands toss that ball back, baseball style, once a home run is hit. Here we go. Lund gonna set up here. Louisville again coming off of 3 losses. Gave up 6 goals in their last 2 losses. Gave up 2 here, but get 2 back. And we're knotted. Advantage goes to Washington. Coming up on time. DeMello, the guilty party there. Sonnet. Yeah, I was gonna say, Washington kept rolling that ball on the reset. It's pulled back. Here we go. 91:48 is the tick on the game clock. Bonner heads that out of danger. Washington collects for a moment. Nadim gets a foot on it. Oh! But he couldn't spring Nadim. Now it's Sanchez. Ooh, that ball bounced awkwardly over her shoulder to Rodman. Bonner gets that. Passes it straight direct to Nadim instead of out to McDonald. You can hear the frantic crowd. Nadim stays strong. Has Kirsten. Great play by Sonnet. Fox comes for the toss in. DeMello has Fox. Plays through, cuts through. Rodman helps. DeMello to Fox. Ball in. Louisville. And that will be time. What a match. As you see players from both teams stop dead upon the whistle. Gave it everything they had to close out this game. Full time, Washington 2, Racing Louisville 2.
Visit NWSLsoccer.com to keep up to date with the NWSL.
Amazing fight by both of these teams. Again, both looking for a result, but did not get one. As we close out from Washington.
Latest news and updates by following the Spirit on Facebook and Instagram @Washington Spirit and Twitter